So this is the first podcast series on my GCFA training and exam experience. So I want to talk about the training journey first. So the journey of training for this GCFA is a very long journey preparing for the certification. I purchased the training while pursuing my master's degree from East Carolina last year, 2019. This was definitely a mistake because you only have 4 months to complete the on-demand training and to take the test. But I'm going to talk to you later within this same piece about your options after that 4 months is gone or before that 4 months expires. So, back to the journey. So after graduating, I was able to start training for the GCFA. I was very surprised how advanced the course material was, which blew my mind. I took the first practice exam in October 2019. I scored 45%. The second practice test was taken on November 2019, and I scored 42% on that. So before the first practice test, I purchased 2 extensions. Extensions at the time was $389 a piece. So that give you additional 45 days. So that's how the extension worked. And then I was granted a third extension because there was a hurricane here that affected North Carolina coast. So SANS was gracious enough to give everybody that was affected by that hurricane additional extension. So I had 3 extensions, adding 45 days each. It gave me plenty of time to study and to go through the material multiple times, and I did. I purchased a third practice exam and took it. And that third practice exam, I scored a 52%. So, and that was on December 15, 2019. So the exam day was set for December the 28th, 2019. So I continued to study for the next 2 weeks because at that point, after all the, 3 extensions, took 3 practice exams. 2 weeks, I had to be ready. Even though my last practice exam was a 52%. That was my thinking. So while studying, I made sure that I tabbed my book heavily and I put every single term, tool, artifact into an index, because that's what they encourage you to do, is to create your own index, because SANS exams are open notes and open book. So definitely you would need to watch the training videos at least 2 times. So I think the instructor could have been a little clearer in his explanations. The video delivery software could be a little better, but it ain't terrible. So that was good enough. What I would say is do not be afraid to look outside the course material for extra resources. In my opinion, doing the labs and tabbing your books will be more beneficial above anything. Know your tool output. That's very important. Know your tool output. Know what it looked like and know what it means. But overall, the information is packed into this course tightly. I would say, please make sure you study with all of your ability, because SANS training, the exams, even the practice exams are extremely pricey to purchase. It would definitely serve you well to rush. It definitely would not serve you well to rush through this material. My advice is to take your time and really learn the material. I encourage you to use all the study time you have to properly prepare for this exam. It doesn't matter that the test is open book, because between reading the question and looking at your index and possibly the book, you won't have enough time to do that on every question. You have 115 questions, so you're not going to have enough time to do that on every question. So you need to know the material. The questions are not tricky to me. They were not tricky to me. So that's the great thing about it. You're going to know it. You're either going to know it or you're not going to know it. But you definitely need to know a great deal of the material in order to pass. You need to understand Microsoft Windows OS pretty well. You need to understand NTFS timestamps without looking this information up too much. So I'm going to transition into my experience during the exam, when I went to take the exam. So at first I was feeling very confident, even with the poor practice exam scores. I knew I had a pretty good index that I built. I was instructed to do it, by several people that gave me some advice around the index, people that have passed the test. So I knew I had a pretty good index. I was able to allow these people to view that index. So I knew I thought I was good there. I carried all my SANS books along with the index and the posters into the testing center. I was told that the posters were too big and they couldn't go into the room. I made a mistake of having the posters laminated, which that was definitely a mistake. I encourage you not to do that until after you take your exam and pass. And then you can laminate it. So yeah, that's my advice with that. The exam was multiple choice, and that really didn't make it easier. Some of the questions presented on the screen to me were jumbled up. It's very important to understand the questions are not tricky, but some are not clear in what they're asking. Time was definitely my enemy. I had to rush a lot of the answers. Therefore, you must know your material with confidence. And I'm saying this after months of studying. After months of studying, going through everything I can think of, I still came up with a 61% on the exam. At the time, you needed 71% to pass. So I was 10% off. But if you really think about it, I did a lot better than on the actual exam compared to the practice exams. The actual exam started off pretty well. And because of that, I'm not 100% sure what went wrong during the exam. I thought I did pretty well. I really felt the failure was due to rushing and trying to over-verify a lot of the answers I chose. I took this exam and I completed the training with no prior experience in digital forensics and incident response. I had experience in incident response, but not DFIR, so digital forensics incident response. With that being said, I still feel anyone can succeed at passing the exam. I'm not sure the next time. I'm actually sure. I'm sure the next time I'll be very successful in my endeavor. I look forward to taking the exam again. I have learned so much. So I'm very thankful for SANS making this course, because you could definitely apply it to your job today. So definitely look into it. It's the GCFA exam. The course is provided through SANS. But yeah, that is my review of my experience taking this exam, and I hope this helps someone preparing for the exam, get through the exam and succeed. Thank you.